Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's SAFRL. It's Monday night. It's Tier 1, and it's round 8 of Season 7. This is the finale, and we're in Abu Dhabi. 5.2 kilometers, 29 laps, 334 kilometers an hour is the top speeds we expect. Around 16 turns, and just a slight elevation change around here of 10 meters. This is SAFRL, and we will be underway shortly. See, the comment section's already pretty busy, and we haven't even got going just yet. Shortly you'll be looking at the empty pit lane, and cars will be looking out to get out pretty early. Just the one qualifying session, 18 minutes. Tonight I have a guest commentator with me, maybe someone who will be making more appearances in the future. I have Panda alongside me, and you must excuse me, I need to get used to co-commentary, but we'll see how tonight goes. Panda, welcome to the stream. Welcome to NFR.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Fernanda, or should I say not Fernanda. Yeah, listen, I think we both have to get used to co-commentary. It's been a while since I've commentated. It's been a while since you've had a co-commentator. But you know what? I'll tell you this, Fernando. We have a baptism of fire tonight. I mean, the last race of the last season on this game cycle, and we've decided to do co-commentary. I mean, this is going to be something special, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's going to be something interesting. Leaving the co-commentary experiment for the very last race when there's all this other action on track to worry about. So hopefully we won't trip over each other too much. Already some drivers out on track. Who should we be watching out for in qualifying, Panda?
Well, I mean, listen, in qualifying, I think there's one name that comes to everyone's minds, and that is Weeze. Obviously, you know, we have seen some stunning laps from him, including last week. You know, we saw hands down one of the best laps I've seen in quite a while. But obviously, alongside him, you know, we have those crucial title contenders. We're going to update, you know, we'll obviously talk about updating that in a second. But I mean, you've got Logic in the Alpine, a brilliant driver, can really put it together in that one lap. Sometimes struggles over total race distance, but on that one lap he can really hook it together and, you know, go for that pole. You've got Fari, obviously always a contender. Qualifying not necessarily his biggest strength, but definitely a place where you will always see him in the top four. You've got Big T as well, Fari's McLaren teammate, up there also in the championship fight here, obviously. I mean, honestly, Fernanda, there's so many names, and we could see a surprise. We could see Afro up top. We could even see someone completely out of the random, just pull out a good lap. So I don't think today is necessarily going to be so much about who gets the, you know, who we're expecting. I have a feeling we're gonna get some surprises.
Another thing to take into consideration is that this may not be the end-all qualifying. Obviously, safety cars are something we can expect here in Abu Dhabi. There's been some famous ones that we shall not mention. It's Fari, it's on an outlap. So is Virus. So is the man you said we should watch out for. He was one of the first drivers out on track. Let's tell us a little bit. Let's ride on board with Weeze, and Panda can tell us a little bit about this circuit.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you a bit about the circuit. You know what? I won't just tell you a bit. I'll tell you properly about the circuit. So obviously, as you said, Yas Marina is starting to become a legendary circuit. 5.281 kilos in length. Today we're doing 29 laps. We're not doing a sprint, although that would have been cool. Obviously, a lot of corners in total, 24, I believe. Sorry, no, 16. Sorry, 16 corners, 8 left, 8 right, so it's very equally balanced for the drivers. I'll get back to that in a second. But the most important thing, Fernando, and that's what makes this track so special, are those 2 DRS zones at the back. Obviously, extremely long, obviously extremely fast, and that is going to allow someone like Farid, if he can, use someone like Big T as teammates to get a drag down there, it is going to give them so much extra lap time. We've obviously seen in real life, in leagues, you can theoretically get an extra 5/10 if you have a drag down that back straight. Now, Fernando, obviously we've both been, in the F1 scene for a while. 5/10 is quite a lot, isn't it? In lap time. So I think when you're talking about the circuit, it obviously has a lot of curves, it has a lot of edges, but we are going to see so much action on those back straights. And I have a feeling we're going to see some incidents into the chicanes.
You mentioned 3 drivers we needed to watch out for, and those are your top 3. In fact, those are your top 5. Even Afrodox, all of those drivers in the top 6, all the drivers you mentioned, they're going to be fighting it out for pole. France has actually got the fastest lap. He's just gone quicker than Farid. But remember, these are just their initial runs. And the lap times will come down as the session goes on. What can you tell us about... What can you tell us about really... What can we expect strategy-wise?
So, we'll talk strategy in a second. I was about to chip in there and make a bit of a comment. So you said obviously there, Fernando, that the track would improve. Now, a lot of things. How can I say this? A lot of people don't factor in track evolvement. Okay, so when the track evolves, you get more grip, you get more of the tires stick better. All know it's great, right? So in these 18-minute sessions that we have for qualifying, we will see a reasonable amount of improvement. As Big T, sorry, I was on board with Big T. Last minute decides to jump into the pits. We will see amazing track improvement. So track improvement theoretically could go up to a second. It's very rare that it happens, but it could go up. So what are we going to look for? We're going to look for, first of all, we're going to look for people being later on the brakes, okay? I know so we have some people who haven't watched F1 here. So later on the brakes is going to be extremely important to get those overtaking moves. But track improvement, Fernando, I'm going to link this, is also crucial in our tire wear battle for strategy. Obviously, easiest strategy around here, medium hard, right? Take a medium hard, all the way, done. That's easy enough. But, Fernando, if they're feeling really brave, you go soft medium, okay? Go into the soft, get an extremely good launch. Go into the medium, have a solid stint, but you need to make it last. Now, if we see some safety cars, I'm predicting we'll see a soft medium, maybe a soft hard. It all depends on when the safety cars happen. So, personally, I'm predicting a 2-stop. I don't think it'll be more than a 2-stop. I think we'll see a soft medium or a medium soft, something along those lines, but I don't think we're gonna go above that. Unless we have end of the race safety car, then we might see a soft tire come out, as we did in, I believe, 2021, Fernando. But I could be wrong about that.
We don't speak about 2021 on this channel. It's a controversial topic. I know how I feel about it, but my viewers may not agree. So we'll leave that for another time. Maybe if the NFR podcast ever gets going, we can discuss in detail, in length, the Abu Dhabi 2021 incident.
You know, I should say, sorry, Fernando, I should say that is something we can now do, because it is worth mentioning that NFR TV officially has its own Discord server, doesn't it?
What?
It was great.
We're on Discord officially as of today. So we're definitely looking at other ways of expanding the channel. Maybe even going beyond live broadcasts. Maybe even a podcast, if we can get something like that together. But
you can't give them all the info. You can't leak everything.
There's a lot of other stuff in the background that I haven't said quite yet.
Ooh, okay. A lot of plans. Very quickly, if we can, on track, Mr. Fernando. You have Farid on outlap at the moment, so this will be his second one. He will box at the end of his flying, out, sorry, his full down lap to go for the third run. We're seeing the same with Weeze. Weeze currently actually on the lap, doing incredibly, and we should see Big T and Frenchie come out in the, well, probably in the next few seconds. If they don't, it would be very interesting. But I'm more interested in seeing how these lap times progress.
Let's see what Weeze can do as he goes over the line, goes into provisional pole, 122. Flat. We haven't seen a 121 quite yet, but I'm almost sure it's coming. It's Farid on an outlap. France remains in the pits, as does Big T. Logic on an outlap. Next man on a quick lap is Virus. Virus down in P7. And then another man looking for an improvement. The other Alfa Romeo, Pantustar. Another quick driver. Slightly out of position. He belongs higher up the field. It's such a... When you're in a lineup like this, really, it's tough, Bando. Everybody in the field is quick. You could be quick and start 13th.
Exactly, and I mean, Fernando, look what we had this weekend with Monaco. I mean, Checo Perez at one point was 6 tenths off the pace, and he was in P18. And although that's real life, we see a similar effect on, in the game in terms of people can be so close that it's almost unrealistic to an extent on how close they can be. Fernando, I want, if we can, to go on board with Logic. He's looking for a big result here. He needs to get the win in the fastest lap. If he wants a chance at this championship, he needs to get the win in the fastest lap. That saying, he's marginally down on his second lap, and that will not be ideal. Fernando, maybe you can talk us through. Obviously, I'll bring up the points a bit later. Maybe you can talk us through just exactly how do you see this race going with such a tight field up top, as we see Farid getting very close to a 120.
Farid, this is Logic now going over the line. Now, as far as the race goes, it's really so difficult to predict, because on the one hand, like I just mentioned, this field is so incredibly quick, so incredibly fast, and really we're in Abu Dhabi. We've seen incidents here. There's parts of the track you can go off and get away with it, and then there's parts of the track you definitely can't get away with it. So I think we will see safety cars, and if we do see multiple safety cars, then maybe the quickest men on the track aren't going to be the ones that necessarily win the race.
Exactly. I mean, we saw that in Hungary, I believe, Fernando, where Farid had a bunch of bad pit stops. Unfortunately, his strategy wasn't as ideal, and he had to make his way through the field to eventually get in that top 3 and get the result he did. But I mean, just because of the pit stops and double stacking with a teammate, he was shuffled down to, I think, 10 or lower at one point. Do you think double stacking would be an issue here at Abu Dhabi?
Well, obviously just the 13 runners, so for some of the drivers they won't have a teammate. They don't need to worry about that too much. They only really need to worry if they're running very close to a teammate, sort of like Andre and Mr. M. They are line astern, and if you're obviously close to your teammates in the race, then you need to worry about that double stack. We'll have to see as we get to the race. Can't really always tell race pace from qualifying pace. There's some drivers who prefer the one lap stuff. We've got some drivers who just come alive in the race.
Exactly. Especially with the difference in setups, isn't it? We see such big differences in setup that some of them are just tweaks for that race pace. I want to mention something very quickly, Fernando, and I want to get back to it. We've gone to him about 3 times already. But I want to go back to it because it's a very interesting choice. I was talking to Weeze earlier this week, I believe, and last week, and we were having a conversation. He said close to about the 5-4 minute mark, that's when he does his final lap. So he'll do this lap, he'll come in, people will still be on track. His reason for it was, and I found it very interesting, he actually said the only reason he does it is because he has a clear track. He knows the track isn't optimal. He knows the track isn't at his best, but yet he still chooses to go now because he believes that traffic is hindering him too much. My question is, Fernando, do you think we could see any sort of blocking, when these 13 drivers, well, 12 it will be, start their qualifying laps in the next minute or so?
Abu Dhabi, I don't know, it's not really known for the queuing up. You get that at Monza and obviously what we saw at Monte Carlo, but it's really going to come up to the drivers. It's your own responsibility when you go out there to make sure you've got space. If you're starting a fast lap right behind a slower car, well, either you see that car on the track map and you give yourself space, or you've really just got to assume that driver's going to get out of the way, because any lifting in a field like this, it's the end of your lap.
Exactly. It's completely the end of your lap. And that's talking about laps, a few people on their outlaps now. Furi on his outlap, Apfro on his outlap, Virus on his outlap, Mr. M on an outlap, and then Spike. So we'll obviously see the rest come out here in a second. I'm interested to see whether Weasel improve his time. He's in the third sector. Oh, that's some of these camera shots, Fernando. I mean, some of these camera shots look extremely good. Like, you're on board of the car and it just looks amazing. And as I say that, Weez dips into the 121s. 121.915.
Man.
The gauntlet. It's been set down, hasn't it? It's been set down, Fernando. The gauntlet has been thrown down. Now we have to see what the rest can do.
Now everybody else in the field is going to know that if they want to take provisional pole, they have to get into the 121s. It's the only way. Man closest to the 121s is this one here. It's Ferrari driving for McLaren. A 122 flat, wouldn't have to find much, goes around the final corner. Does he find an improvement? Doesn't appear to be the case. Who else is on a quick lap? Virus.
I think Farid just started his lap, yeah, I was going to say.
May have been an outlap for Farid. Have a caution out in sector 2. That could just be somebody driving slowly, letting faster cars go by. You don't have to worry too much about that caution sign on your screen in qualifying. But every time you see it in the race, your heart will skip a beat.
And Fernando, just very quickly, you did it. I don't know if you saw this on stream, but a massive toe given by Big T to Farid. He's doing it again on the back straight. This is the second time he's done it. Tion, Big T is giving Farid the biggest toe I've ever seen. And I mean, that can gain Farid in a massive amount of time. He's at a bit of a loss at the moment, about 2 tenths down, but that toe would have done something. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. Big T is still in the championship, Fernando, and they're giving each other toes. What do you think that's about?
Let's have a look at it. Farid, he's now in that final sector, just hoping to stitch the rest of the lap together. Hopefully he doesn't dive into the pits, and he does. He dives into the pits. He dives into the pits. So I wonder, got a massive slipstream there. Looked like he was going for it, and maybe when he got to those final 2 or 3 corners, he just realized it wasn't going to improve the lap and backed out of it. But
it just oddly wouldn't stay out for Big T, isn't it? I mean, Big T did him such a massive favor. Don't you think that he would stay out another lap, maybe return it? Do you think or not?
It's the only team with 2 cars up there in the top 4, and I think that if they work together well at the start, they could manage this race. It's really all about Weez. Can't let Weez get away at the front. Can't let anyone get away at the front. Just gotta stay within that DRS. Don't let Weez get up the road. We've seen it happen too many times.
Exactly, we have seen it too many times. That displays how quick Weez is. Very quickly, just on the stats, Fernando, a lot of improvements. Virus, Andre, Spikes, all of them improving as far as I could see. But French not improving so much. Big T was having improvements, and Logic had some massive gains. We're going to see if the field changes now. Logic, the next one to go over the line. Will he go up? Yes, he does. P3 for Logic. And can Big T now do something? And he doesn't. Peel into the pits. On a lap now. Virus still on the lap? No, he isn't. Andre still on the lap. He's about to come over the final corner.
Let's see.
Wow. Fernando?
Nice improvement up into the top 10, 122.8. And I think that's it. Who's still out on track? Just Spikes, but he's coming into the pits. I believe that is qualifying.
That is indeed qualifying. Virus chooses to bypass the pits, to go for another lap, takes the flag, because why not? And that is qualifying.
Why not take that checkered flag when you're... Must feel good. Clean air, no one in front of you, checkered flag. Just pretend it's a victory. For some of us, it's the only time you'll see a checkered flag.
It is the only time. But on pole, Fernando, you can take us through our top few there. Tell us who's there.
Right, so we're just gonna wait for those official results to pop up on our screen. Just showing there Mr. M in the AlphaTauri. He was finishing in P6. He's riding on board with that car. There we go, your official results. Weeze taking pole position. It's Ferrari will start alongside on the front row. Then Logic P3, France P4, Big T P5, Mr. M P6. They're followed by Andres, Aphrodox, Virus, and Andre. They make up the top 10. They're not in the top 10 with a bit of work to do tonight. Pantry Star, Spikes, and Top Gun.
And what a qualifying it was. We move on to the race now. And for Ian Weeze, that's going to be interesting. Turn 1, isn't it? Oh, that's going to be interesting. Turn 1. Can't wait.
It's going to be an interesting turn 1, definitely. And if you just look at those qualifying results, just 1.2 seconds cover the entire field. So just a second off the pace. It's good enough to be at the back of the grid.
It is indeed, and well, they're very quick. But here we go, Fernando, for a race start at the season finale.
That's right, qualifying is all fun and games, but this is where you get the points. We're looking at the empty pit lane. All of the cars will be to the left of your screen on the start-finish line, doing their final preparations. Do you underfuel in anticipation of safety cars? What tyre are you going to start on? And what ideas do you have going into this race? And obviously, you may have worked out the perfect strategy, but a safety car could come and mess that all up.
It probably will.
I think the first hurdle for all of these drivers, get through turn 1. Just a slight delay. We're waiting for the drivers to get ready. Of course, it's going to be frantic at the start.
Taking a while, aren't they? Yo.
They are taking a while, making sure they got those strategies in.
I don't want to steal the race start, so now I've decided to stay quiet, and now I could have talked. I could have talked for ages here, Fernando. I mean, seeing as we're not getting going.
Doesn't seem like we're getting going. Just looking at the pit lane, waiting for players. It says on the top left-hand side. So we're just waiting for players to get ready. There we go, start finish line, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and when they go out, we'll be underway. 13 drivers will be heading into turn 1. At the front of those drivers, Weeze versus Ferrari. Turn 1. Seems like everybody got through turn 1. Nicely done. Now what can you tell us? Weeze, P1, Ferrari,
Mr.
Big T, those are your top 3, and we've got a virtual safety car on lap 1 of 29.
I apologize there, Fernando. A massive crash there from Mr. M. They just came out of the left kink, and he just put too much throttle in, and the car snapped, and he went into the wall. Instant DNF, no chance. I mean, that has to feel horrible for him.
Obviously, very early on in the race, especially when you've put some time into the race, when you've prepared, when you don't even get to the end of lap 1, it hurts that much more. Not sure what's worse, retire on lap 1 or on the last lap. I'd prefer to retire on lap 1.
I would too. I honestly would too. Because at least if you retire on lap 1, then you have the rest of the race where you can go do something else, or to go watch the race on youtube.com/NFRTV. A bit of a shameless plug there. No, so but a good start from Wheeze, an extremely good start from Big T, Fernando. Look at that. He's 2 positions up, starting in 5th, now in 3rd, and he's right behind his teammates. I mean, controlling the race, I think this is the definition of it. As I say that, the VSC goes out, and we are racing officially again into turn 1. Do we see anything chaotic? No, we don't. Okay, everyone behaves in turn 1, Fernando. Here we go. 27 more laps remaining. We in front, Free in P2, but he will be catching. And Big T using his battery, catching up to his teammate. Is he going to dive him? I'm not quite sure.
Probably not at the early stages of the race, but if both these drivers are still in the championship, we could see them battle later on. But I think for the time being, they know they need to play the team game. They need to keep Wheeze in their sights. There's your possible strategies: 1 stop, 2 stop. But obviously any safety cars will change all of that.
It will indeed. And just very quickly looking at the tires, our top 5, Fernando, all on the hard tire. Then we have 2 drivers, Andres and Virus on medium. Andre on the hard, great start from Andre, up in P8. And then we have the rest behind him on medium, second spot. So yeah, very differing tire choice between those 2 compounds, but the front of the pack deciding they want to go long. They want to see if they can push this compound long and take it far and hope for a safety car, I assume.
Of course, Wheeze still out front, that gap not really growing, just being managed at the moment. 2 McLarens still close together. Pando, if you'll just take over for 2 or 3 minutes, I'll be back.
Yeah, that's completely fine. Folks, I don't have control over the visuals, so I'm going to tell you audibly what's going on stream. You're going to have to listen. So Virus almost breaks out of DRS, but behind him, Andre does break out of DRS, and that will mean he's vulnerable to Pantry Star behind. Pantry Star does get the overtake pretty easily. Top Gun also gets the overtake. At the front of the field, nothing too much happening. The 2 McLarens deciding to stay in that DRS along with Logic and Frenchie. They all know they have to be playing that long game. Logic getting very close to Big T, using his DRS. Will he go down the inside? Big T defends Logic, attempting possibly the outside. No, he doesn't. Decides to back out. But Logic now putting a lot of pressure on Big T. Big T definitely realizing he's not getting those tires fired up quite yet. Free sticking in behind Wheeze. Free saying there's no need. I'm getting DRS. I'm able to save my ERS. There's no need for me to use anything. Wheeze should be on a relatively cruise as well. He knows Free doesn't really want to get past him because Free can stay in that DRS and hopefully keep his teammate behind. Further down the field, a big gap now between Virus and Andres, and that is going to be crucial for that the bottom part of the grid. Afrodox, of course, at the bottom of the grid, had a pit stop lap 1 onto the mediums now, and he's going to try and run them extremely long until a safety car. We should see a safety car here, folks. Only a virtual so far, but we should see a safety car. Into our top 12 drivers. At the front, heading on to the DRS straight, and here we go. Afrodox sets the new fastest lap. Obviously, on those new mediums, he's able to push like nothing else. At the front of the field, Free not going for the overtake, not using ERS. He is very, very calm, saying that Pantry Star now suddenly getting past Virus, and Virus will have the DRS. Will have that second portion of DRS gets a bad exit, but that DRS will pull him along. Top Gun now using his DRS. Will he go inside or outside? He's choosing. Is there a gap? Oh, he wants to try, but there isn't quite a gap. Can he go up the inside? Virus defending. Beautiful defense from Virus there. Tried his best. And it worked out, but he needs to be careful not to lose DRS to Pantry Star. Pantry Star pulling closer to that front pack, and that is going to be crucial. Can he get that DRS train rolling again? Gaps forming. Andre falling behind now. Spikes falling behind now. And Afra, of course, still 19 seconds behind. Up the front, nothing much happening, and we've settled into a bit of a quiet race right now. Pantry Star, fastest lap, 1:25.855, and you can see he is pushing at 9% ERS, folks. Pantry Star on 9% ERS. He's trying to just get that DRS of the guys in front. He's just over a second. Can he break in? Oh, I think he's going to be just over. He is just over. He's going to miss out DRS again. Virus has broken out of Pantry Star's DRS, but Pantry Star now on almost zero ERS, and he will be struggling. Andres catching up to the Haas of Frenchie, but Frenchie not feeling the pressure too much. Virus gets dropped by Top Gun, but that was a logical conclusion to the DRS, and we should be seeing a lot of DRS overtakes later in the race. As you can see, the front pack, folks, staying extremely tightly knit still, because they don't want to necessarily trade. As I say that, Free with a beautiful move along the outside of Wheeze. And oh, my soul stream, I don't know if you saw that. If you did, what a move. I don't think Wheeze was necessarily prepared for that. Folks, this is definitely going to be extremely amazing to see, and we're gonna definitely see some good racing, but it's gonna come closer to the end of the race. These drivers don't want to show their hand. They don't want to push these tires too hard. They want to wait for a safety car. They want to wait for some sort of intervention. They don't want to cause irreversible damage early in this race. The McLaren's P1 and P3, these will be challenging the McLaren of Free into turn 1 now, but Big T will be behind Wheeze. Big T gets a bad exit, and now it is all about Logic. Logic right behind Big T. Is he going to go for overtake? He uses ERS. Big T using as well. They're going to be side by side, just like 2 ahead of them. Can Wheeze go for a dive? Wheeze doesn't go for a dive, but Big T is forced to dive. Oh, and Logic down the outside of Big T. Big T will get a good exit here. He'll get DRS. He'll get everything. He'll get the direct slipstream. He goes to the inside. Logic tries to defend. Can't defend too much. This is going to be an amazing battle. Stream, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, but that is very tight-knit. It's not done yet. Logic keeping it around the outsider. He's trying at least, but doesn't get it done quite yet. Wheeze very close for the overtake there, but decided not to properly go for it. And these drivers now, chat, extremely close. We're gonna see here. As we have a crash in the back of the field. It's Pantry Star. He gets turned around. Does he have damage? I'm not quite sure, but I do hear a wild Fernando. Fernando, are you back?
I'm back. Sorry about that. I have no idea what happened. I just felt very sick suddenly, and just want to apologize to all the viewers, but I do suffer from epilepsy, so if I suddenly feel faint, I tend to freak out, and that's what happened there. But I am feeling better. So back to the race. What have I missed? It's Free leads. Wheeze P2. Wheeze back into the lead as I say that, because trading positions, and the McLarens still 2 and 3. For how much longer? Logic applying the pressure.
And just very quickly, if I may, Fernando, don't stress. I don't think anyone's mad at you. Don't you worry about that at all. Saying that, Fernando, you missed some great action. We had amazing battles up front. Can I just say that very quickly? We had some amazing battles. Big T in P3. Those 2 McLarens, they've been hustling. And we had a bit of a crash from Pansy. Not anything too big. But everything should now settle down for a bit. Yeah, Fernando, what a race so far.
Fantastic race so far. We haven't seen safety cars. We just had that virtual at the beginning of the race. just bring up some info for the viewers. Haven't been able to see the tires or anything yet.
I was giving them an audiobook, Fernando. While you're away, I was giving them an audiobook, and I was trying to describe the scenes the best. Saying that Logic, Logic's very close. This is the closest Logic has been to Big T, and this is definitely going to be an attempt at an overtake. Both of them using ERS. Big T isn't. Big T now uses ERS. Logic will dive down the outside. He knows that's a preferential line, but he also knows Big T, if he does it right, can come back at him. These two, they definitely touch the wheels there for a second. Ooh, Logic down the inside. Big T will have the outside line. It's going to be a run of straight line speed, and that is Frenchie in it as well. They're going to go free wide. They are going to go free wide here, Fernando. Big T, the only one who doesn't have DRS. He's lost out on that. Logic versus Frenchie. They're going to go two. Does two go into one? We're going to see in a second. Oh, it could be a big crash. Isn't yet. Oh, Frenchie cutting off Logic there. Very, very dangerous. Logic
closes the door.
He's turned around.
He tried to close the door again, and that time they made contact. Haas spins around, and unfortunately for France, he has got going again. It's down in P7. It's already made up a position.
That was flipping amazing. I mean, okay, obviously the turnaround wasn't ideal, but now, Fernando, Logic has an issue. Because he has a 1.5 second gap to the leaders, he doesn't have enough battery to catch him up, and he has Big T right behind him, who will be in the DRS, who will have ERS. Logic might have just made this race a ton harder for himself.
Definitely, it's one of the disadvantages of trying to defend for too long. You're obviously the only tool you have at your disposal is that battery, especially when you're in a DRS train. Obviously your DRS gets cancelled out by all of your competitors, so you've just got that battery. You're trying to defend, you use the battery as much as you can, and then once you've drained it, if you've spent any time in the cockpit, you know it can be quite challenging to get it back to a decent usable level.
And Big T and Logic went for it there. Big T would definitely think that was very unfair from Logic. I mean, Logic just kind of pushed him wide, saying that Ferrari and Wee's trading paint up front, and they're trading positions as well. Yellow flag, sector free. That's an Aston Martin. That is the Aston Martin of Spikes. He's got him going again. Isn't a safety car, but another spin, and that will now put him alongside. Oh, French is out! Safety car! Safety car! French has just crashed! Safety car!
First safety car of the evening comes on lap 9 of 29, and what a retirement.
Big crash. A big crash. This is she wouldn't have seen it, but a big crash from Frenchie Fernando. Just through through the hotel section. A big crash, and that is a safety car. And now the question is, will anyone pit?
As you say that, you can see a whole smattering of cars coming into the pits, everyone from Top Gun down to Afrodox. So I think maybe the leaders, they had already gone past that pit entry, weren't able to utilize the stop. But all of those runners, all of the runners behind, they'll have the fresh tyre.
The question is, will they be able to use the stop? Will they have enough of a gap? Do any of them take the chance? Do they take the chance, pit, see where they come out? I mean, this is a bit of a gamble now, isn't it?
It's a tough one if you're gonna come into the pits. If you're someone there in the top 5 and you want to come into the pits, you have to do it now. There's still a gap between Andres and Virus of 25 seconds, so you could get away with a pit stop. But if everyone else in that top 4 doesn't, well, it's going to be interesting. They're going to have to follow the leader. If Ferrari reacts, I think we could see...
He has his teammate right behind him. Will he pit? Does he come in? Ooh, he's playing mind games. And he's pitting. Ferrari pitting. Okay, so will Wee's come in as well? Wee's coming in as well. Logic pitting as well. That will mean Big T. Big T's going to have to double stack. This isn't going to be nice. And Andre's pitting as well. Oh, Fernando, this has changed the whole race, hasn't it?
This has changed the whole race. And that's what safety cars do. They come in, they mix things up. They make sure that like I said, not the quickest driver always wins. Gives everybody in the field an opportunity, and even if your race went badly at the start, this is what can reignite that race. And I think it was just going to be a situation of follow the leader. I really think if Ferrari had stayed out, we could have seen the rest stay out. I think they were just reacting to what the leader was doing.
I don't think they would have, because they have Virus, they have Top Gun, they have Afro on brand new tires behind them. I mean, I don't think they would have been able to afford it. But okay, to be fair, they've pitted now, so no ifs. But now, the only if we can say is what'll happen when this safety car goes out. Obviously, Big T will be right behind Logic. You know, the McLarens could work together here. Ferrari can try and send a message and say, listen, I'm going here. Wee's obviously right there on Ferrari's tail. This is going to be crucial. You know, we obviously saw that DRS gap being broken, Fernando, but now this has changed everything, because the hards only went 10 laps. These mediums cannot go 18 laps. They cannot. The maximum they can do is about 11 laps, which means, Fernando, we're either going to have to see another safety car, or we're going to have to see a purposeful box for softs at the end. Saying that, people like Andres, people like Virus, people like Top Gun, people like Pantry, they can theoretically go to the end of this race. So this has just changed the situation quite drastically. I'll say that.
Also, every time, every lap, every corner you spend behind the safety car, you are saving those tires a little bit. They're not on the edge, they're not up to racing temperature, they're barely alive at that safety car speed. So the tires will go a little longer, supposedly, than what their usual life suggests. Let's see, do we have, yes, safety car in this lap. And Aston Martin pulls off into the distance, and now it's Ferrari. Takes control at the front.
And there he goes. He has gone. Does Big T have a jump on Logic? That's a question. No, he doesn't, but he does have a jump on Andres. Those hard tires just not firing up at all. This straight is going to be extremely crucial, Fernando. I mean, this is going to show us how much pace these guys have in the tank. Logic now looking very hyped up. He knows he can still theoretically win this, but he needs Ferrari to score a bad result. So Logic gonna definitely give it his all. He's right behind Weez. Tion, or Big T, sorry, also right behind Logic. They're not close enough, but Weez now, oh, look at this. Will he go for the move? Will Weez go for the move, or will he back out? We're gonna see. And he backs out.
Weez
No
thinks
move
better of
today.
it.
Logic, but look at Logic. Look at how close Logic is. Look at how close Big T is.
Everyone here in the, well, look at this, it's DRS trains right throughout the field.
Oh, look at this. Oh, this is going to be close.
Everyone within a second. Logic and Weez side by side. And yes, everybody does come out on the exit. I was waiting to see less cars on the exit than we saw on the entry. But luckily everybody comes out of that corner. Saw 4 go in. I thought we were going to see 3, maybe even 2 coming out.
To see 2 cars just slowly floating through the distance, Fernando. Was that what you were expecting? Oh, but look at this. Logic looking very racy. And it's Virus. Virus out. Virus. Massive crash. Another safety car. And that has, well, that's neutralized the whole field now. Again. So we only have 10 runners left. We have 16 laps remaining. Virus, I think, dropped on traction again, unfortunately. I mean, it's top 10, so you know you're going to get points, right? I think this could possibly almost make the championship impossible for Logic. I can't say that for sure. But it will bring him very close. He's going to need Ferrari to finish all the way down in 10th to win this, and I cannot see that happening, Fernando.
He's going to have to get himself up into P2 and apply as much pressure as he can to that McLaren, try and force some sort of a mistake, something that hopefully will send him to the pit lane. That's the only thing they can hope for now, is that it's Ferrari finishes at the rear of the field or doesn't finish at all. It seems to be in the McLaren driver's hands.
It does indeed. This will be good, however, for one specific person. This will be very good for Afrodox. Afrodox back up in P8 now. He has potential to do very good. He can still get into the top 5, even the top 3. It is going to have to be a very strong race from him, though. We can see Weez and Free were hustling a bit there at the start of the race, but nothing too dramatic. But Logic, Fernando, Logic was hungry, wasn't he? I mean, he was on Weez's back, trying to just do everything that he can, and Big T seemed not to have an answer for Logic.
Just so incredibly close. What we've seen so far, we've seen 2 safety cars, we've seen cars going 3 wide, we've seen collisions, and everyone here at the front just really hungry. Of course, it's the finale. You want to get that final victory, that final booster, that final boost of confidence heading into the next season. Love to just finish it off in Abu Dhabi, where seasons should end.
Exactly, and I mean, F124 going to be a very big season. F1 Andre, the only one bidding there, and this is going to be good for his race. Mr. M, unfortunately, out of the race, but Andre on a new set of mediums. Those mediums can last him to the end. Those mediums can last him till the end, which means he won't have to do another stop. So if the people in front of him do stop, which I don't think they will, but if they do stop, he has the advantage. He'll either way have the advantage because he will have less tire wear. Even 1 or 2 laps can make a massive difference in the tires. A very big question though, Fernando. Let's look at Andres real quick. He's on the hard tire. The laps are now in his favor. The guys up front are still going to be struggling with tire wear at the end. Does Andres have a realistic shot at getting into the top 3, maybe even winning this?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he can get himself into the top 3. I think he might have, safety car is in this lap, I think he might have an issue right at the restart, just firing up those hards while there's cars all around him on mediums. But if he can manage to get that, if he can manage to get that restart right, I think he's got a lot of potential in the rest of the race. All of those cars ahead of him are on mediums and may have to either pit, or those tires will simply drop off before Andres. So the Ferrari, the only Ferrari in the field, could still potentially have a strong result. And if the field,
here we go for the restart. Sorry.
I say, if the field stays this close, if you could get a podium, why not a win? It's not that far away. Anything possible.
Exactly.
I think for any of the 10 drivers out on track, anything is possible. Back underway.
Exactly, and a very crucial there. Fareed got a jump on Weez, but Weez actually had a slow restart and now has Logic in his gearbox. Big T also a bit of a slow restart, and Andres crucially, as we were talking about, slow restart from him, but he is still in DRS range. And Top Gun and Afro, the 2 Williams, it looked very daunting, but it was just trading places. They did it on a weird place, though, I'll give them that. But Afro still has medium tires. He will try and follow Andres now. Will we see a move? Big T, 2 and a bit temps. Logic, 2 and a... less than 2 sets now from Weez. Can we see anything happen here? Everyone in the slipstream. Oh, and they back out. No moves just yet, but this is gonna get spicy.
I think I can explain Panda's extreme excitement there. He saw 2 blue cars getting very close together and thought they were Alpines. But that was not the case. And if you are interested in F1 rumors and F1 news, we might not see Esteban Ocon at the Canadian Grand Prix.
Hold on, no, why? No, hold on. You're going to need to expand on that. Why?
Well, there are rumors that Alpine may bench Esteban Ocon and replace him with either Jack Doohan or their new Alpine World Endurance driver, a little driver by the name of Mick Schumacher.
Oh my soul. The rumors, folks, they are coming true, but I'll tell you who Alpine are not going to drop here. Alpine aren't going to drop Logic, because look at Logic, Fernando. I mean, he is maybe on the definition of Weez's gearbox. I mean, if Weez, if Weez had a serial number at the back, I'm pretty sure Logic could read it. I'll tell you what, Logic, he's getting hungry now. He wants to get into that P1 position. He has Big T behind him. Big T not close enough for a move. Andre's not close enough as well. This is all going to be between Logic and Wheeze now. Wheeze may be capturing Free, but Logic, he's getting hungry now. Further back in the field, Afro on Andres now. That move should be imminent. Bring up the Amazon graphic that says imminent overtake in 2 laps. We have Top Gun, who has unfortunately broken that DRS Pantry Star, then Andre and Spikes. The gaps at the back building, but the gaps at the front, they've never been closer.
Gaps at the front staying close. Gaps at the back, we're just starting to have an expanse now. The Williams starting to split apart. 1 second the gap there, but everyone at the front within a second. Look at that, from P1 down to P6, everyone within a second of the next car. So when we do get DRS, everyone will be within range. And like I mentioned earlier in the stream, there we go, DRS enabled. Mentioned earlier in the stream, the most difficult place to be in a DRS trade is at the front. So you've got to do all the defending. You don't get DRS, all of the competitors behind you do. And all you've got in your hands is that battery. And once it's flat, if you don't manage it well, you're just going to sink down the order.
Talking about managing it well, look at this. Free gliding, or sorry, Wheeze gliding past Free. Free will have to go on the defense for Logic, and here Logic goes. Oh, Logic, so close there to a move, and your Afro and Andres, they are fighting.
There was definitely a pass on the cards there, but I think Logic just knew still a long way to go. He's got the pace. There's no need to do anything erratic. Just made the pass. Logic P3. McLaren demoted a position. Top 3 now, McLaren, Alfa Romeo, Alpine.
A very odd combination. Well, not for McLaren anymore, but a very odd combination for the rest. Can I just say very quickly? So Big T now has Afro behind him. Big T has to get past Logic. He doesn't have a choice now, because if he doesn't, Afro will get past him. Afro has shown some amazing pace. He's getting overtaken left and right. Big T has no choice. If he doesn't get past Logic, he will get past, and he'll slowly get shuffled down the order, and that is not going to be good. Well, that's not going to be good for him, is it? So Big T clinging onto that DRS. Logic and Wheeze going at it. Is Logic going to go for the dive? Oh, he backs out. And this is what I said, Fernando. I said Logic is hungry, and he is extremely hungry, isn't he?
He's hungry, he's fast, but it's an intelligent drive. There've been moves he could have made, and he's been patient. You can see he wants to get on with it, but there's still an element of patience. He's tucked in behind the car behind him once or twice when a move really looked on the cards. But the top 3, top 4, top 5, even the top 6, still very close together.
Oh, accident! Logic runs into Wheeze! Logic runs into Wheeze, and oh, Wheeze will be reporting that. Wheeze will definitely be reporting that. Logic runs into Wheeze. Logic then Big T then gets past because of the chaos. And Wheeze now down into P9. A lot of ground to make up. Big T P2, and a gap now to Free of 1 second. This race has just turned on its head. Wheeze, one of the biggest competitors, suddenly out, gets shunted out of the way by Logic. And, I mean, surely that's going to be a report, Fernando.
Yeah, no, surely that's going to be a report. And one thing I'm glad is that I'm not a steward. Just here to commentate, let them sort it out. But there was definitely contact, and, well, we'll have to find out after the race. But Wheeze will be disappointed. He's back in P9, and he's got to do a lot of work to get himself back up the field. He'll be hoping for a 3rd safety car. And a roll of the dice to get something special. Otherwise, it's got a lot of overtaking.
I apologize, Fernando. Logic is he's going for it.
I'm riding with them as we speak, and I saw that. Logic just showing his front wing again, letting them know. I'm sure they know he's there, but he's just reminding them. And now the McLaren's trading places.
trade places. Weeds gets past Andre pretty easily. Andre doesn't fight it at all. And that was good for the McLarens. The McLarens need to keep playing this game. They just need to back Logic up into Afrodox. Afrodox isn't a title contender. He isn't going to be worried about any sort of title hopes. He just wants to win. And the McLaren's doing a great job here. They just need to keep trading places. That's all it is now. The question is, Weeze gets past Pantry Star as well in the background we saw there. The question now is, what will Farid do? Will he purposefully back off Logic, or will he just stay? Oh, and Spikes free second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's unfortunate. As I say, that's unfortunate. Logic on the gearbox. Look at this. Look at this, Fernando. I mean, you don't get closer than this, do you?
So close together. It almost looks like those 4 cars are all teammates, but that's an Alpine and a Williams. The other 2 are teammates, 2 McLarens. Unfortunately, they don't have that brilliant Senna livery on them.
Logic and
so
Big
close.
There.
Puts himself between. Put himself between the McLarens ever so briefly, and does he stay there? I think he does. Big T tries to come back. He does come back, side by side.
And they're both using ERS. This is a straight drag now, and Big T doesn't want to be in his position. The last driver that was in his position was shunted off by Logic. Oh, and here they go again. What's going to happen between these two? Big T keeping around outside, and Big T is now doing a Sergio Perez. That's what this is. I mean, we saw that drive in a few races. But I mean, this is Big T doing. He's doing some amazing work. The fact that he kept around outside, he's ahead now. I mean, this is some amazing driving, isn't it, Fernando?
Obviously lost just a little bit of time to his teammate while those two battled, but what a drive so far. Had to hang it around the outside, put all his faith also in his opponent, that he'd give him the space. And what a drive so far by these top 4. They've given us a show. This is how you want to. This is how you want to end off a season, isn't it?
Well, it's going to get more spicy. Logic is within 2 seconds. And he's going to have a very good exit. We know he gets good exits. But they will both, himself and Big T will both have DRS. Farid just a bit up the road, but still giving his teammate that DRS. That's going to be crucial. Farid cannot allow his own teammate to fall out of that DRS. Even if they're title contending, that could open up the door for Logic. So this is now a very intelligent game. Afrodox still there. Weeze is closing up. Weeze is closing up with quite rapid pace now. So we could still see Weeze become a factor again in this. Afrodox staying out of it. Logic not doing anything. Okay. Okay, it's calm again. It's calm again, Fernando. We can breathe. We can step back from the screens again.
It's not
it's
calm.
Calm now.
Not calm just yet. Logic's still on the back of the McLaren. Still awfully close. Any sort of a mistake from the McLaren, and Logic will snatch that position.
The question is now, will that McLaren make a mistake? Will the 2 McLarens just keep on doing this together? I mean, we know how these teams work. Obviously, me being from Bandasti, I know, that they're communicating. They're in the same voice chat. They have an engineer talking to them, giving them the details. So Farid will know not to drop Big T out of his DRS here. He knows that. So he's going to keep an eye on that gap. But he also knows Logic is a big threat. So they'll have an eye on that as well. That saying, Afrodox getting close now as well. This could be good. I think Afrodox maybe just waiting for a crash. It sounds stupid, but Afrodox genuinely, I think, might just be waiting for a crash. Because he's just sitting behind.
Sometimes you see those drivers ahead of you and they're just battling and they're just trading positions, and you've got to make the decision. Are you gonna join the party, or are you just gonna sit back and something's probably gonna happen? Remember, these guys are driving on the limit. Mistakes happen, and they happen quickly. Seen a few guys fall down the order. Remember Weeze? Well, he went all the way down the order after that spin. He's in P6 having a recovery drive. He's within DRS of Andres. So P5 could be on the cards shortly for him. But still, he would need something special.
And just very quickly with Weeze, I mean, his lap time he was doing 126, 127. But up front, if we have a look at, let's say, Logic, he's matching that pace, but Wee's going marginally quicker because he isn't getting challenged as much, and that's going to be crucial. If Weez wants to get back into the race, he has the open air. He needs to get past Andres now and bridge that 4-second gap. Afro very close here to Logic. Is he going to go for anything? Oh, he was so close. For a second there, I thought Afro was going to get involved, but he still keeps his nose out. Who is going to get involved is Logic and Big T. Both have DRS on Free. Free isn't going to be stressed too much. He knows what his team is going to do. Afro here, sorry, Afro on the back. Is Afro going to dive? Oh, he decides against it. This is good racing, isn't it?
It's good racing every time. You see that wing stick out. You know the drivers are thinking about it. But what makes it even more impressive is we haven't seen a crash here at the front. They're driving on their limits, but they're still driving intelligently. They know that you're going to get no points if you don't get to the start-finish line. And you got to do the whole race distance. Anything can happen to those cars in front of you. You can't give up, you can't lift, you've got to push to the end.
Exactly, as you said there, yellow flag sector 2, that is spiked. But he's gotten it going again, has he? Oh, he's broken his front wing. Spikes broken his front wing.
Where is Spikes?
And
Ooh, that's a safety car. That's a safety car. It's a silly safety car. I think that is what virtual safety cars were created for. But Spikes is back on circuit just with a broken wing. He'll be able to go to the pits and rejoin the back of the queue. This is the third and final safety car.
This is crucial now. Weez getting a free stop. Weez hasn't officially gotten a free stop. He's gone on to a brand new set of mediums, and the guys ahead, I don't know if they'll get a stop. I don't know if they'll get a stop here. Even if they do, it might be extremely risky to do that stop. So Weez will be right up front of them. This helps the McLarens nothing because they're right next to each other. You can see Big T. Oh, look at this, Fernando. These are games. These are mind games now. So Big T doesn't want to get held up in the pits. What does he do? Just drops it back, as far as he's allowed to, obviously. He's not breaking any rules. Drops it back as far as he's allowed to. You can see Logic very irritated. He knows what Big T is doing. Oh, these are mind games. This is the epitome of a mind game, isn't it, Fernando? We don't see these a lot. We don't see these types of mind games a lot. And it's quite refreshing to actually see them.
It's smart driving. I think it gives us... You think the McLarens are coming in?
They have to. They have to, surely. I mean... Surely
they have to. Those tyres will be in terrible shape at the end of the race. And you've got guys like Weez on mediums, Andres on softs, Andre on softs, Pantry Star mediums, Top Gun soft, and Spikes softs. All of those drivers I just mentioned. Brand new tyres. The McLaren does come in. It's Ferrari. It's followed by his teammate.
Oh, and Big T gets a penalty. That's a 3-second penalty for Big T. And maybe some dodgy driving there involved. But Big T, look at that. A 3-second gap up ahead that he's made just to get that double stop right. It does work to some extent. The question is, will Logic come out in front of Big T? No, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Big T loses a position in the pit.
And he almost lost another. Aphrodux almost getting out there. Just very luckily the cars ghosting into each other, otherwise he would have lost another position. So the top four remain the same, but the order has changed. Logic has jumped the second McLaren. Top four would have been having a fantastic time just trying to get to the checkered flag, but this has brought the whole field back together and everybody on a fresh set of tyres. We're going to have like a 3-lap sprint to the end. If the finale wasn't crazy enough for you so far, well, the little sprint at the end should be.
It's going to be fun. Everyone except Weez and Pantry, by the way, on the soft tyres. I wonder why Weez and Pantry were going for the mediums.
I wonder if Weez maybe just didn't have another set of softs. Don't know, he's gone for the medium. Don't know why he would have gone for the medium. There's only 4 laps remaining in this race. Could have gone with the soft and would have got there quite easily. The only explanation I can think of is he didn't have a set of softs.
And but I mean, he has an old pair of softs, doesn't he? He has an old pair of. To be fair, they are at least 3 laps old. You wouldn't want to put them on. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Is safety car going for another lap? Yes, it is. Okay, so we've got another lap now.
On my screen, it's showing that Weeze is on a set of mediums, and the mediums are 1 lap old.
He is. No, he is. Sorry, I was talking about like he would have had a set of softs from qualifying, but they were at least 3 laps old. So that would make sense why he goes for the mediums. But the thing is, Weeze is going to be at such a disadvantage against Afrodox, isn't he, Fernando? I mean, how can he make this restart work?
Obviously those softs are going to come up to temperature quicker, they're going to be able to bite a lot faster, they're going to have superior traction, especially in the early stages. And these guys are only going to have 2 or 3 laps to try and get those mediums up to temperature. So I think the 2 drivers on mediums, 2 Alfa Romeos actually, might just have made the wrong choice. But we'll find out. But I really do think that those softs should have a big advantage. It's brand new and they've spent all of their time behind the safety car. So when the safety car does come in, those tyres will have absolutely no wear on them. You're not going to have to worry about tyre management. You can just do 3 quali laps to the end. But will all of these cars get to the end?
Well, hopefully, safety car in this lap. This is where it's going to get crucial.
And I always like to announce when we're in safety car safe territory. So lap 26 of 29 means there's 3 laps to go. We can't have any further safety cars. So good stuff. Once I announced that too early and we got a safety car with 4 laps to go in the race. It was a 1 lap sprint. And commentator's curse showed its face again. Getting ready for the restart. Spikes out front. Sorry, not Spikes, it's Ferrari out front. Logic P2. Big T P3, the 2 McLarens, they know what they need to do. They'd like to finish P1 and 2. Logic would like to ruin that.
And here they go. Here they go. A very early jump there for Ferrari, but he wants to obviously... Oh, and Top Gun. Oh, 3-second time penalty for Top Gun. Big T, remember, folks, also has the time penalty, so he will have nothing to lose. And Logic. Oh, Logic is going to be on the back of Ferrari here. Logic is going to be on the back here. This is going to get exciting, Andre. This is going to get properly exciting, especially will Logic dive into the hairpin. We've seen this before in other years. And, well, he gets close, but that now puts Big T on his tail. Big T, horrible exit. Afro will now challenge Big T. Right behind them is Weeze. Weeze is going to try his best to get involved in here. Afro, Big T, Logic, Weeze, Ferrari. They're all in this tiny split. Big T will go for a dive. He goes for a dive. And does he make contact with his teammate? He hits his teammate.
Yes, there's been contact. Seems like the McLarens may have made contact because those 2 cars were together. Now one of the McLarens has fallen down slightly. It's Ferrari and Logic fighting for position. And now Afrodox getting involved. Afrodox going around the outside. He gets up into P2. Does he hold on? I think he does.
Someone has damage. Someone has damage there. It might actually be Weeze. I think Weeze might have damage. Because I saw the carbon fiber flying. Someone definitely has damage in that group.
Afrodox sat for so long in P4 just watching this battle in front of him play out. And now he's chosen to jump, and he's chosen to jump at the right time in the race. He's up into P2, he's chasing Logic, the gap 0.3 of a second. He's going to have DRS over Logic. And Logic's going to have to use all of his battery management skills in these closing stages. Because that Williams looks hungry.
That Williams is hungry, and I'll tell you what. I said someone has damage. It is Weeze. Weeze has extreme front, well, not extreme front wing damage, at least yellow front wing damage. It's on the medium as well. It isn't going to help him at all. So Weeze out of the fight now. Big T, Ferrari. They're still in that DRS. Ferrari needs to get a move on here. Afra will probably get a move on the straight. Ferrari still in this battle. T in this battle as well, but T overly aggressive there on the restart. T extremely overly aggressive, and not needed at all.
Do have a caution, but luckily we're in that safe zone I just mentioned, so Logic still ahead of Aphrodux. Can Aphrodux steal the win, steal the lead? Remember, he just sat there in P4, was patient, didn't make too many moves, didn't look too aggressive. But now he's left it for the right time. Doesn't help being fast in the beginning of the race. Doesn't help being in the lead at the beginning of the race. This is when you need to be in the lead. At the end of the race. It's the only time it counts. Aphrodux over the line. Big T. Fastest lap of the race. But that penalty. He'll be cursing that penalty.
And we will have DRS on the last lap. The last lap will have DRS. This is going to be something. Aphrodux knows he needs to get the move done. He's got Ferrari behind him, and he's got Big T behind him. This is going to get very heated. Aphrodux has the DRS. Does he choose to use it? Yes, he does. Goes down the inside of Logic. The question is, will he try and back off for that second quarter? He does with two McLaren.
Aphrodux up into the lead of the race. Got ahead before the corner with the help of DRS. Now Logic is going to be able to try and come back at him on this not so straight, and he's done exactly that. Logic back into the lead, but for how much longer? Side by side. Logic around the outside, now the inside, and well, nobody's giving up.
And I think after a very action-full race, Fernando,
I think Logic may have just pulled this off. And there we go, around the final corner. Lap 29 of 29, we have the checkered flag. Logic takes the victory, it's Ferrari, steals the fastest lap right at the end. So he takes the extra point. And I think that is the entire field over the line. We're just waiting for spikes. And there we go, spikes around the final corner. There's a bit of a weave. We'll pick up points. It's only 10 runners. And that is the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
That is it, Fernando. If you'd allow me, am I allowed to say the line?
Of course, say the line.
If I'm allowed to say the line, Logic wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but the man that's going to be the happiest on that podium is the man in third place. Ladies and gentlemen, your F123 final champion for SAFRL in Tier 1 is It's Ferrari. A beautiful championship he's had, and a beautiful race to end it. It was chaotic at the end, but oh my word, was that a great race. Wow. Fernando?
Just before I read out the results, I just want to remind the top 3 drivers as well as the driver of the day, which happens to be Aphrodux, so just the top 3 drivers. Obviously after the race, if you could just go to the NFR cool down room, and we'll invite you to the comms box for a short interview. That's the top 3 drivers, so Logic, Aphrodux and Ferrari. So just your official results. Obviously Logic taking the victory, Aphrodux P2, It's Ferrari only good enough for P3 tonight, but good enough for the championship. Big T P4, Andres P5, Weez P6, real up and down race for him. Andre P7, Pantry Star P8, Top Gun P9, and Spikes was the last car to finish. 3 DNFs, those were Virus, France, and Mr. M.
And wow, what a flipping what a flipping race. I mean, we haven't seen a race that good, Fernando, in league racing. It's been a while for me. In league racing, it has been a while for me, and I think a few incidents there we'll see reported, obviously. But I mean, still such a flipping good race from every single driver, and I think they really showed their talent there. I think they really showed their talent, and I think they can be very happy with that. I'll say that much.
I definitely
while we
remember
wait-
we started with only 13 drivers, so we only lost 3 drivers. And when you consider how much these guys were pushing, how much on the edge they were, it's really impressive. And we didn't have that many penalties either, so good driving all round. Maybe a few things for the stewards to look at, but we'll leave that to them. We do have 2 drivers already in the cool down room. It's Faree and
a clever one is he's not a driver, he's a race engineer.
Okay.
He's a race engineer, he's not a driver. That saying, Logic actually not wanting to chat at the moment, maybe a bit upset about how things went, not necessarily the way he's wanted it to go, but I mean, Fernando, still, what a race. Do you think we're ready to talk to our championship man? Do you think we're ready to talk to the man?
I think he is the only one that's joined, so we'll get him in the comms box, and then if any other driver joins, we'll get them in too. But let's start with this Faree. And there we go. It's Faree. You're live on YouTube on NFR, and what a race!
Yeah, that was hectic.
What did you? Not only did you get your podium, but am I correct in saying you took the championship?
You are correct. He is officially the SAFRL F123 man.
Hey, that's a good to hear. Yes.
Say, what were you thinking? There were parts in that race where it looked like all 4 of you could have made a collision. There was some really intense driving, and did you know you'd be in the top 3 throughout, or?
No,
there was
it
a lot of action.
Anyone's race. I think the start especially, everyone is just managing, so you're not going full out, waiting for someone to make a mistake. So close with other cars, if you race them, you're gonna lose time. So sometimes that's frustrating, but I think the end was a lot better. There was no time for recharging and stuff like that, so it was quali laps all the way.
Good race, and then obviously got disrupted by a few safety cars, but it's nice to mix things up. Do we have a second driver?
We do. So we actually have the McLaren teammate. I want to before we let Faree let him go. Faree, first of all, well done. We'll obviously come in and give you guys a proper well done a bit later on. Listen, we did see some contact there between the 2 McLarens. I'll ask Tian about the other thing, but what happened? Was it an accident? Just a miscommunication?
I didn't know it was him until he said sorry.
Oh crap! Okay. Okay.
I actually thought it was the Logic MP2. So I think he just missed his braking point. Especially braking on the inside makes it more difficult.
When there's
luckily it didn't spin around, only pointed the wrong direction. But yeah, didn't lose too much time at the end.
Very, very close still. Faree, well done to you. Well done to you. What a race and what a championship. I'm looking forward to F124.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot.
We will see you on F124 and hopefully in season 8 of SAFRL.
Definitely.
Until then, thanks for the racing. Thanks for the entertainment. It was a good one.
Thanks. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, man. Okay, we're gonna bring, who's that, T? We're gonna bring T in here. Is that one right, Panda?
It is T-Boat. That is Big T. Big T, hello. Okay, so the whole race, you guys were close, in a few attempts. And on lap 28, it seemed I don't make any assumptions. Obviously, P4's got a great result, but it seemed, according to some people in the chat and whatnot, you might have missed a few braking.
Yeah, no, look, the plan was to get alongside Logic and to try hold him up in the chicane and try get ahead of him in the second DRS and then hold him up from there. Because I was so far back, I sent it slightly at the start and I actually had it under control. Then I let loose on the brakes a little bit to try be more ahead in the apex and then I locked up. And then, yeah, chaos followed soon after that, and then I was just trying to maintain. Final lap, I actually had a good run. I could have passed my teammate, but to try help him as much as we could with the championship, I decided to stay behind. And yeah, so at least we still got the drivers and we got the constructors. It could have been a bit of a better result. But we also have to see what happens after penalties as well, as we are aware there were incidents that happened prior in the race. Logic too, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it was a tough race. It was very fun. I hope it was a good show for you guys and everyone watching.
Yeah, no, definitely that. It was a fantastic show for the commentators, and I think it was even better for everyone at home. And what a way to finish off the season. What a way to finish off season 7, and what a goodbye to F123. Fantastic race.
A very big goodbye. A very good goodbye, Fernando. Mr. Big T, I want to say first of all, congratulations on the 2 championships. Obviously, we'll get the driver's results in a few weeks. But just from your side, heading into F124, just very quickly before we get another driver in here, looking forward to F124.
I'm very excited for 24. I had the privilege and opportunity to play the beta. And yes, although everyone has negative things to say about it, I believe it's just a learning curve. And once I got the hang of it, I was relatively quick and felt very comfortable. I'm hoping for big things to come. So who knows, maybe one day we'll be taking on the Drivers' Championship trophy, but until then, we'll just have to see.
Fernando, anything from your side?
Well, not really. It's just it's been a great season, and Big T's been one of the drivers that's been up there at the top throughout, and yeah, just congratulations to everybody and good luck for season 8.
And also just a big thanks from my side to you guys. You guys do a lot, especially you, Fernando, day in, day out, always in the com box. Hopefully Canada can make it a bit easier for you now as well. But big ups and downs of applause to you guys and for all your hard work behind the scenes as well.
Thanks to you guys. The stream wouldn't be anything if you guys weren't out on track. So
it's true, but also no one would see us if you guys never did your job.
No. Okay. Don't get all mushy on me, you two. Don't get all mushy on me.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other drivers that?
We have 2, so we have to be quick enough.
Should we bring them in here at the same time?
No, we shouldn't, because they have 2 very different races. So let's first of all, Big T, thank you very much. Have a great day. Well done on your race.
Cheers.
We'll bring. Okay, I think we bring Afrodox in first. He was the P2 man. We can't get the P1, but we'll get the P3 and the P2. Then I think we chat to Bees. Bees is a tale of 2 stories. But first of all, Mr. Afrodox, P2. I mean, you were sitting back, you were waiting for the action, and then on lap 28, you were like, okay, here I go. This is my turn.
Yeah, so that was a very interesting finish. But Tion actually, Big T did all the work for me. He took out his teammate there. And then I knew Logic was going to slow down the first straight, and then I wasn't going to be able to sit back either, because then we're going to let third place right back into the. So I had to overtake. And then I had to try slow him down through the S-bend so that I could get a better exit. And then I didn't. I think he saw that coming, and then just glid past me down the last DRS straight.
So it was a good race while you were sitting in P4 for such a long time, and we actually discussed it on the stream briefly, that maybe you were just waiting for a mistake up the road, because the guys were going 3 wide at a stage. What were you thinking when you were there in P4? Were you thinking of making a move, or were you really waiting for that mistake? Or just a spectator?
I was basically spectating at that point. I was trying to see, where the advantages in the setup lie. So I had a really, really good, strong setup in Sector 3, but there's no overtaking space. So you could get really close to them, and then you just falling back 4 tenths, 5 tenths down Sector 1, and then you probably end Sector 2 at about 6 tenths back, and then you just close it all back up again. And then I was basically just sitting there waiting for a mistake, but at the same time, I didn't have anything in the setup to actually, make a move of my own. I would have to literally wait for them to start battling. I knew it was coming. Logic's not the kind of guy that's going to sit behind someone. And when Big T and Furi started with the boxing tactics, I thought, no, there's something coming.
You knew it was time, and then right at the end, you just you gave it a go. You got a good result at the end. You didn't finish P4, you finished P2. But
not. Also, I went into the back of M and took my wing off. Lucky didn't affect his race or compromise him at that point.
There were a few errors. There were a few errors in the race. And
at that point, I think it was P14, I think. And then I was just looking at the grid, and I was like, "There's no ways we're seeing a safety car tonight."
Yeah, well, we got 3 of them in the virtual. So
it should never have happened. Not with that lineup.
Well, I didn't see the incidents personally that caused the first 2 safety cars, but I was very much on board with the third one. And the third one should have been a virtual safety car, because there was no retirement and the car was able to get back on track within a few seconds. So
yeah, but it worked out very well for me. To be able to go, because my mediums were done at that point.
I think it worked out for everyone, because
Exactly.
tires were looking like they may fall off a cliff at the end there.
No, I was sitting at, I think, 44% tire wear by the time, with 6 laps to go.
And obviously the safety cars also helped that the tire life get a little further on.
Yeah. But final lap I'd be on 65 plus, so there would have been nothing to contend with. So yeah, it worked out. The late safety car definitely worked in my favour.
Afrodox, and from my side, I'm going to let Panda finish off the questions, but from my side, congratulations, great season.
Shot, man.
And
I
hope to see you on track again soon.
Oh well, we've got ACGL coming up. Hopefully that's going to be another sweat fest.
It's going to be.
No, it was last time, wasn't it?
Oh goodness.
It's going to be an interesting one again. It's a bit of a marathon for me. When we do that event on a Tuesday, I get to stream 5 days in a row. So hopefully all our viewers will tune in for that. And
that'll be the highlight. But that might be on 24 already, so we'll probably race that race will be the first race on 2024.
We've still got a driver waiting in the cooldown room.
Yeah, it's Weeze.
I'm sure he's effectively cooled down enough now. So, we left him alone in the cooldown room, poor guy. No problem.
He'll be fine.
Panda, anything else for Afrodox?
No, Afro, great race from your side. Honestly, a very smart drive, as always. And yeah, if you can end off 23, you can now officially click the uninstall button. I'm gonna do that.
It's gonna
Literally
be a
in 2
fantastic
seconds.
moment. It's gonna be such a good moment.
Hold on. Give me 3 seconds. And right click, uninstall. No.
Oh, you've beaten me
Right
to it.
click and uninstall. It is off. F123 is gone, folks.
I
it'll be good. Now
I can't do that. I can't do that just yet. You need to still do SAFRL Tier 2 on Wednesday.
Oh, I might actually have to join you. Oh, I'm gonna have to reinstall it.
You need to reinstall the game, you clever.
Oh, no, okay. That's still Afrodox, well done to you. Enjoy that uninstall. You're in the middle. Yeah, amazing race. And, have a great
I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Cheers,
sometimes
cheers.
it's funny. It's sometimes just funny how a little bit of patience can work in your favour.
I said it on the stream. There was some intelligent driving there, and if guys had just gone for that first move that was available, I think we would have seen even more safety cars.
Oh, definitely. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Afrodox.
Afro,
Cheers, eh?
And now Fernando, for a lot of the evening, he was racing right up front, and then had a bit of an incident. and then got a safety car, was looking as it was proper contention, and then had a piece of his wing fly off on a medium tire. Reese, no one is saying it was an easy race. Obviously, it could have gone a lot better. But I mean, surely there's a part of you that is like extremely happy with how exciting it is. Very quickly, before we get into anything, I have gotten an apology from Mr. Layton, Mr. Logic. He says sorry that he tapped you. He did not mean it at all. It was a complete accident. He completely apologized for that. He did send that to me in DM, so I might be in trouble for saying that out loud. Layton, I hope you're not watching this. But Weeze could have gone better, but still, it was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good race. It was a good race. Yeah, I won't talk on the incident, but I basically had everyone around me where I wanted them to be, so it was going well until that happened.
Do you think on the mediums you could have went to the front? Do you think that was possible?
Easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
this is
so
I had the pace. I had the setup down to a T. So yeah.
Do you think you had the pace? Wow.
obviously
Wow.
we
Okay,
hear
well,
the disappointment. The disappointment obviously suggests that you did have the pace, but it's a finale. Everyone giving it their all. Mistakes happen quickly, and you had the pace in qualifying. You had the pace in the first stint of the race, and yeah, that was unfortunate. Did you think you could still get back into a podium position, or?
I think I would have been able to give Leanne a better chance if I didn't get spun around or that wing damage later on. But yeah, it was alright. The qualifying I'm actually more happy with because first time I got into the 21s with that setup. So yeah, it was good.
Great stuff. I'm gonna let Panda can finish off.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I think obviously we've talked enough about this race. I do want to get on, please, to F124. Obviously, you're a big name in the SAFRL scene. You're a big name in the F1 scene, and F124 is gonna look a bit different, isn't it? So I think if you want to, obviously I'm not gonna force you, but if you want to, tell us a bit more about how F124 is gonna work. You know, what your plans are. Give us some info.
Well, there's obviously going to be a lot more structure, I want to call it, to the team. We're going to have...
You should probably mention what team it is. We haven't actually made it.
There you go. Yeah, F1 fantastic team.
Boom. Bomb. Dropped.
There's going to be a lot more structure. I want to get more focus on consistency for everyone, all the drivers joining us. Yeah, and basically just bring up guys on their pace, their confidence, get them racing, get the Pandacity name going. But yeah, we've got stuff in the works that I won't say on yet, but it's gonna be something to watch.
It's gonna be good. And yeah, we've also got one or two things we're looking to maybe implement on the channel in the next couple of weeks, but stay tuned. And of course on Discord, if we are thinking of doing anything new, we're going to announce it there, so stay tuned to the YouTube channel and stay tuned on the Discord server. And yeah, do you have any closing statements, Panda? Anything you want to say, Weeze?
I'll let Weeze go first.
On to the next one, Season 8. Unless you decide to go terrorize the guys in Tier 2. If you somehow found your way into that lobby and decided to give them all one last fright.
If we see a new name pop up in Tier 2 who's extremely fast and it's like Wheezing heavily. Shouldn't have put it.
If it's some random name in tier 2 that we've never seen before, well, I think we know who that is.
But from my side, sorry Fernando, Wheeze, well done to you, and well done to everyone. Logic on a brilliant win for Redeserves Championship. Aphrodux and that surprise P2, and everyone down. Wheeze, well done to you. Fernando, are you gonna mind if I say my goodbyes before we end this? Before you end the stream?
You can say your goodbyes, and then I'll
Okay.
finish things off.
I'll say the goodbyes. Thank you. First of all, thank you very much to you, Fernando. You gave me a chance to come back to the comments box, and I hope I did okay. I hope you'll have me back. And just thank you to everyone watching. Currently still on 10 viewers, even after the interviews. You guys have been amazing. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you haven't already, just tell Fernando he's awesome. Send him a message on Discord. Join the Discord, by the way. Yeah, Fernando's an amazing guy, so please support him. Thank you all so much. It's been a great race from my side, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that. And then from Tendacity's side, not to plug, Fernando, I'm not leaking anything, right? I'm not leaking anything. But next season is gonna be big. That's all I'm willing to say at the moment.
We're looking at adding content, and I think it's gonna be good. What we've been able to do with this channel in really just one season of racing, channel's been doing fantastically well. The community comes together, and we see the same names in the comment section almost 4 or 5 times a week, so getting continuous support. So thank you to everyone who's watching. Thank you to everyone who joined season 7 of tier 1 SAFRL. Of course, this isn't the end. We will be back on Wednesday to do it all over again with tier 2, and then obviously DRS on Thursday night. I want to thank Panda for the co-commentary, and we will see him again on this channel when he's available. And I want to thank you all. We got some good views tonight. If you haven't left a like on the video, leave a like on the video. It really helps us out. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And until next time, thank you everyone, and cheers.